Hey YouTube, Bob here. Sorry about that, I couldn't resist. I thought if anything deserved the treasure chest fanfare, it was the Legend of Zelda treasure chest limited box edition of the Prima strategy guides. So here it is in the original packaging box, and before I go any further, I just want to let you know that this is not going to be an unboxing video. Aside from taking the treasure chest out of this box in a moment, I'm not actually going to open the treasure chest. Instead, what I'm going to do is go through the guides that I already have, because I do already have copies of the hardcover collector's editions of the strategy guides, as well as the softcover editions of the strategy guides. So honestly, there's really no need for me to open this particular box set. As a collector, I'd prefer to keep it sealed. If you were looking for an unboxing video of this set, I'm going to point you to Lithium017's unboxing. He did a great job, so I will put that link in the video description. Alright, well here's one more shot of the box set in the packaging box. And first of all, I'm going to say I'm really pleased with the way they packaged this. You can see on both ends they've got styrofoam, I don't know, I guess you'd call them holders, but it's completely encased in styrofoam on the corners, and the cardboard is very thick. So I'm pleased with this. As a collector, I'm always a little bit wary of buying things online, especially books, because you can never be sure of the condition. But they did a good job with this. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the box. This could get a little bit awkward. Let's see. Underneath here. There we go. And this is very heavy. I threw it on a scale before I did the video. It weighs about 15 pounds. It's really heavy. Alright. There we go. And there you have it. And wow, like I said, this is very heavy, but it is in a cardboard chest to mimic the treasure chest that you see in the Legend of Zelda games. And oh my gosh, got a lot of nice detail there on the front. And the magnetic cover that opens, this is a little bit of a flap right here. It lifts up, and then the cover opens to reveal the other contents, which are detailed right here on the back. Says, I'm going to move this before Toby starts to eat it, because he would. Alright, so it says this set includes 6 hardcover collector's editions for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, Legend of Zelda The Windwaker HD, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. It also includes a high-quality, two-sided laser-etched metallic bookmark to help players keep their spot in over 2,000 pages of The Legend of Zelda strategies. Also, an individually numbered certificate of authenticity is included for collectors with a signature and message from Mr. Eiji Onuma, producer-director for the Legend of Zelda series. And it says the guides are contained in a unique, high-quality box that is The Legend of Zelda themed and held closed by an embedded magnetic clasp. So this box set is The Legend of Zelda Collector's Dream. It is very cool. A lot of strategy guides, all of which, except for one, have already been released, which is one of the reasons I'm not going to open this collector's box. I'm going to keep it sealed just for collector's purposes. But in order so that you can see what's included in this box set, I'm going to go through the player's guides that I already have, and also talk about some differences about what this box includes that the original player's guides don't, and what the original player's guides include that this box set unfortunately does not. So what I'm going to do is put the box set off to the side and introduce the other player's guides one by one. Alright, well I'm going to go through and present the guides in the order that I've seen the box set presents them inside the box, even though it's not necessarily the chronological order in which the games were actually released. So first up is Phantom Hourglass. This is the softcover edition of the Player's Guide, still by Prima Games. And then the hardcover is exactly what you're going to see in the Legend of Zelda box set, with the exception of a couple bonus items. So I do have my collector's edition still sealed in the plastic. You can see it says a Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass Collector's Edition Guide. And on the back they come with paper cover plates that kind of detail what's inside. This particular guide includes exclusive stitched bookmark. Looks like that. And an exclusive Phantom Hourglass story booklet. Plus, pull-out sea chart poster, fully labeled with Secrets of the Great Sea. So the guide that's included in the box set is this guide, but unfortunately none of the bonus items. Okay, next up in the box, even though it was actually released prior to Phantom Hourglass, is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And the guide for this game is a little bit unique in that this is the last guide that was written by and published by Nintendo Power. We all know that Nintendo Power ended at the beginning or at the end of 2012, but a few years prior, I want to say almost 4, maybe 5 years prior, Nintendo stopped publishing Nintendo Power, and they gave that responsibility over to Future US. So this, as far as I know, is the last player's guide to be published by Nintendo Power, and that was for Twilight Princess. That's only for the softcover guide. The hardcover collector's edition, like all the others, was published by Prima. I'm not exactly sure if the content in the Nintendo Power Guide is the same as this hardcover edition by Prima, because it's sealed. If somebody does know about that, let us know in the comments. But this one has a sticker that says Collector's Edition. New content, expanded legendary checklists. So maybe that answers part of my question, if they're going to compare it to the original softcover edition. But for all intents and purposes, this is the same collector's guide that's included in the box set, with the exception, it says, includes cloth overworld map. So unfortunately, the copy of this guide in the box set does not include the cloth overworld map. So that's the guide for Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Next up is Spirit Tracks, and of course we have the Premier Edition softcover version of the guide. Nothing too special. And then the hardcover guide by Prima is the exact same as the one that you'll see inside the box set. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks Collector's Edition Guide. On the back, what this one has, that's kind of the bonus feature, let's see, fully labeled Parchment World Map, Collector's Edition exclusive. So while the hardcover guide inside the box set is the same, unfortunately it's not going to have that parchment map. Next up is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, and this is where things get a little bit different with the box set. The box set is the only way that you can get the hardcover edition of the guide for Ocarina of Time 3D. When the game was released back in, I want to say 2011, it was, this is the only guide that was available. And typically, Prima, for the Super Mario games and for the Legend of Zelda games, they only release the hardcover editions for the console versions of the games, not for the handhelds, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks aside. But for the most part, that's been the case. So I wasn't surprised that there wasn't a hardcover release for this particular guide when it came out. But this is the softcover version of the guide. It does happen to include a poster. And since this guide is open, I can use it should I need to. I'm not really concerned about not seeing the hardcover version of the guide inside the collector's box. But from the videos I've seen, the cover for that guide is purple. Next up is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Here we see the softcover copy of the Premier Edition of the guide. Nothing too special about it, except that it does have a poster. Now, the hardcover guide for Skyward Sword, this original release is very different than the one that's included in the box set. The descriptions I've read online from Prima's website say that it's been expanded by at least or over 100 pages. And the videos I've seen of this particular guide, yeah, it's about twice the thickness. When I first saw this guide, and I compared it to the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess guide, I was a little bit disappointed. I had no idea how the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess could have such a robust guide and Skyward Sword did not. But apparently they rectified that problem with the box set edition of the Skyward Sword guide. But what that one does not have, that this one does include, is a bonus Surface World cloth map. That was a typical thing that they did with these guides. Next up we have the Legend of Zelda Windwaker HD. Got the official game guide, and this is the biggest game guide that I've seen, at least softcover, for a Legend of Zelda game. This thing is massive. But it does include a chart, and the guide itself is just huge. It's comparable in size, actually, if not bigger. It almost seems like it's bigger if you're going to take into account the hardcover of the collector's edition. But this is the collector's edition that can also be found in the box set. However, what's not in the box set that is included with the standalone version, it says collectible cloth map of the Great Sea is included. And there you have it. Those are all 5 guides included in the limited edition box set of the collector's edition strategy guides for The Legend of Zelda, minus 1 guide. Of course, there always seems to be something that's missing, and that is the case, unfortunately, with this box set. While this box set is absolutely fantastic, I do wish that it included the guide for The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. I don't know why it doesn't. Probably has to do with the fact, they wanted to have this in production in time for the holidays, and this guide may not have been ready because the game is so new. But in typical fashion, Prima did release a softcover version of this guide. No poster, unfortunately, but it is a fairly substantial guide, and it does include a free mobile version. You can see there you have to type in a code. So that's pretty cool. Likewise, the hardcover version of the guide, that unfortunately is not included in the set, does include some bonus material, which actually is pretty cool. You also get the free mobile version, like you do with the standalone, but you get a bonus framed lithograph, which, how cool is that? So these are all 6 of the hardcover collector's edition strategy guides that were released by Prima Games, 5 of which were included in this box set here, which is the Legend of Zelda limited edition collector's box. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, you guys take it easy.